Yo, what is UP, everyone? Buckle up because some absolutely insane, jaw-dropping stuff just exploded about Bricks and Minifigs and the entire McNeff family. And I'm telling you right now, it is wild. Like, next level crazy. These revelations are so shady they make everything we've seen so far look like child's play. If you thought the Bricks and Minifigs drama was wild before, oh baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Huge shout out to the absolute legend over at BJC Live. Go watch her full video immediately. That thing is a solid 50-minute masterclass. She's in there digging through documents like a detective on a caffeine rush, breaking everything down line by line. She explains it 10 times better than I ever could in this video, and honestly, I'm still wrapping my head around half of it myself. But I'm gonna do my best to hit you with the biggest, juiciest points, the stuff that made my eyes pop out of my head, and why this actually matters big time for the whole Bricks and Minifigs mess. If you want the complete unfiltered deep dive with every single receipt, pause this right now, click her video, link in the description and comments, and come back. Seriously, go do it. I'll wait. Kinda. Alright, welcome back. So here's the deal. These documents BJC uncovered paint a picture of the McNeff family having a long, sketchy history with some seriously suspicious business practices. We're talking potential financial misconduct, weird shell company games, moving money around like it's a game of financial hot potato, and structures designed to dodge liability like pros. Sound familiar? This lines up crazy well with everything blowing up in the Bricks and Minifigs controversy right now. The non-stop blame shifting, the desperate attempts to wash their hands of everything involving Brian Mansell, those nightmare franchise agreements that tie everything in knots, and all the classic, nah, it's Crystal's fault because consignment wasn't allowed. Excuses. It's like the same playbook, just on a bigger stage now. These new findings don't just add context, they make the whole situation feel inevitable. Like, of course this was happening. Now listen, I gotta say this loud and clear so nobody comes at me. This is all my opinion based on what's publicly come out. None of this is 100% courtroom proven, everything is alleged and you should do your own research. But man, to me, it screams that the McNeffs are no strangers to these dark arts. This isn't their first rodeo. The absolute headline that broke the internet? Ammon and his brother Matt straight up sued their own dad, Daniel McNeff. Yeah, you heard that right. Family lawsuit, full drama, the whole soap opera. I'm not even going to try to unpack every twisted detail here because it's an absolute mess that would take another 20 minutes. If you want the full chaotic story, BJC's video is right there. But what matters for us is what it reveals about how this family operates in business and in the courtroom. Spoiler, it's not pretty. Here's where it gets really good. Daniel McNeff's company, Legally Mine, yeah, the one some of you have already seen popping up in comments, entered into a massive purchase agreement to buy several $1 million worth of stock in Bricks and Minifigs Franchising Incorporated. Let that sink in. From everything in these docs, it looks like Legally Mine, and therefore Daniel, basically owned the majority of the company at one point. That means Daddy McNeff wasn't just helping out, he was bankrolling the whole operation. Ammon and Matt were out here building this Lego empire on what appears to be their dad's dime and connections. Mind officially blown, and it gets even spicier. During that family lawsuit, Daniel straight up said in the documents that he stopped making the required stock payments because Ammon and Matt had previously owned a Bricks and Minifigs store, and it was never profitable. He basically called them inexperienced, ineffective, and bad with money. Oof, imagine your own dad saying that about you in official court papers. Brutal. But see, that actually validates the bigger story we've been piecing together. These guys have been running on family money and support the whole time. When your dad is calling you out for not knowing how to run a store profitably. Maybe that explains some of the chaos we're seeing today. Now here comes the smoking gun, the part that had me yelling at my screen. Daniel took his company Legally Mine LLC and changed the name to LM Old Company LLC. Literally the exact same day that Reckless Ben dropped part 1 of his Bricks and Minifigs series. The exact same day. Not a week later, not after the story blew up, the very same day. That timing is so suspicious, it's almost comical. Why would you rebrand your company to something that sounds like Legally Mine, but old and irrelevant now? At the precise moment the scandal starts exploding? To me, that's not coincidence. That's damage control on steroids. That's a man who saw the storm coming and tried to jump ship before the waves hit. He didn't even wait to see if the story would gain traction. He knew, or at least he suspected something shady was brewing with Bricks and Minifigs and wanted his name as far away from it as possible. This whole family saga went down around 2019 to 2021, and when you look at how they handled that mess back then, The deflection, the legal warfare, the complicated corporate shell games, it mirrors exactly what we're watching play out in the current bricks and minifigs controversy. Same energy, same tactics, same chaos. At the end of the day, these findings don't just make it harder for me to trust bricks and minifigs. They make it almost impossible. It feels like this pattern of questionable practices, shady structures, and not my problem attitude has been running for years. They haven't changed. They've just scaled up. But hey, that's just my take after going through all this. I want to hear from you. What do you think? Are these connections real or am I reaching? Drop your hottest takes, theories, and reactions in the comments. I read every single one. If you're new here, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because we're not done with this story. Not even close. I'll see you legends in the next one. Stay safe out there, and maybe double check who's really behind the companies you support. Peace.